Hey guys, what is up? What's going on? It's your girl Ashley and welcome back to the channel. So what I'm going to be doing in today's video is a full face using only Maybelline beauty products. Now I used to do these videos a lot back in the day and I kind of want to bring them back. So if you guys have any suggestions, recommendations whatsoever on the next brand you guys want me to do a full face using only on, leave them down below in the comments. But nonetheless, if you guys are really interested in seeing how I got this look right here, subscribe to my channel if you guys haven't already. Click that bell so that you guys are notified anytime I upload a new video, which is 3 times a week, every single week. I upload every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and y'all don't want to miss out on the fun. So with that, I'm gonna stop talking and we're gonna get into the beat. Okay. So you guys, jumping straight into it, my brows are done, lids are primed, but instead of going in with the eyes first, I am going to start off with the skin, simply because I feel like my skin just hasn't been looking too hot. I have like blemishes here and here and here and here, and I really just need to have a blank canvas for me to see the vision. So you guys know how much I love the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation. I did switch over to using the shade 128 Warm Nude, but I also really love the Matte and Poreless foundation, which is the Fit Me. Now you can take your pick. This one is really awesome. It's more of like a satin finish. It's not too mattifying, whereas this one right here by Maybelline, the Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation, it is an extremely mattifying full coverage foundation. So if you aren't really into full coverage, you may not really like this, but you may like this. So today I am going to be using the Maybelline Super Stay Full Coverage Foundation simply because I'm feeling it. It's Thanksgiving Day and I want to be full glam. Why not? I'm probably going to go Black Friday shopping right after, so I need my makeup to stay on and in place. So honey, we're going all out. By the way, I did mix 2 shades of these. I have 220 Natural Beige and 128 Warm Nude. Now, before I actually go in with foundation, I'm getting ahead of myself because I don't have much time to film this video. I am going to prime. Today I'm priming with the Master Prime Primer Base, which is a hydrating and smoothing primer by Maybelline. It is a primer that I really love, so it's going to give my skin a boost of hydration, but it's also going to smooth out any imperfections at the same time. Now that I have my primer on, we can move right back to the foundation. I'm going to apply the foundation with my Equal Tools sponge, and I'm going to start in the center of my face and work my way outwards, just so that way the majority of the product sits in the center and I don't have like a horrid foundation line at the end of it. And again, this foundation by Maybelline is literally bomb.com. The coverage on it is absolutely amazing. A lot of you guys are asking me if I could compare it to the Huda Beauty foundation, and coverage wise I definitely can. I can definitely see why a lot of people try to dupe the Maybelline foundation with the Huda Beauty one. The only thing about the Maybelline one is that it does not break me out, whereas when I use the Huda Beauty one I started getting a ton of breakouts. So keep that in mind. If you have acne prone skin, you may or may not like the one from Huda Beauty. Cool beans. So my base is done. I'm actually going to move on to eyeshadow before I go in with concealer and powder. I'm going to use the City Mini palette right here by Maybelline in the shade High Rise Sunset. It is filled with a bunch of beautiful warm tone shades, and I love how tiny it is, so it's very easy to travel with. Now the only thing that I will say about the City Mini palettes by Maybelline is that you have to set down a tacky base for the shadow to stick to if you want them to show up to their full intensity. So that's exactly what I'm going to do in today's case. I will be using my NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer in the shade Medium 1 Custard. Now I know this isn't from Maybelline. I know it's not drugstore, but it's what I know, it's what I love, and it's what I find to work best for me. So definitely use whatever works for you. So the first shade I'm going to take from within the palette is that yellow shade, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that with Morphe M441, and I'm going to rock it into the socket of the crease to act as my transitional color. The only thing I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of like stamping it, and I find that stamping motions work best with these City Mini palettes because I'm able to really concentrate the product in a certain area, and then once I have the color built up to the intensity that I want, I will essentially go in with a clean fluffy brush to buff and blend out any harsh edges. So now that I have that color built up in the crease and a little bit on the lid, I'm going to go in with a clean M433, and I'm just going to run it right alongside the edges just to give this look more of a seamless blend. So just lightly running the brush. You really don't want to take away too much color. You just want to just blur these edges right here. So this look is definitely leaning really, really yellow, and that's not really where I want to take it. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that brown shadow in the palette on an M507 by Morphe, and I'm just going to concentrate this right here. And honestly, what I'm really doing with this eyeshadow is I'm just packing it in the very outer V right here. So I'm taking a little bit of product at a time just because I do really like to build up my shadows, and I am just going to kind of deepen up this outer V without getting too crazy. I also don't want to take this brown above the transitional shade, so I do want to keep it a little bit on this outer V and in the crease, but I don't want to take it above the yellow.
A few moments later.
So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to create a really intense chocolatey smoky eye. So I'm going to take that brown all over the lid. Why not, right? Ball out. So again, I'm just using a brush to really just pack on this shadow all over the lid. But again, I'm not taking it above the yellow. Ooh, look at that blend, girl. Look at that blend. I am in it to win it. So things are looking very dramatic and a little messy, but that's because I'm not done with my entire look. So I'm going to go in with the shade right here, which is the lighter shade in the palette. And I'm going to use this as my brow bone highlight to simply just bring all the colors together like so. And I'm not entirely sure if I love it all that much. Keep in mind, this palette right here is just an extremely matte palette. And I do want a little bit of shimmer on my brow bone. So I'm going to step out of the Maybelline palette and I'm going to pick up a little bit of In Light from the OG Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just simply going to run it across my brow bone to add a little bit of shimmer, and this is also going to bring the entire look together. So as you can see, that transitional shade really just brought the color down a little bit more. I'm going to go back into that yellow and just kind of intensify it just a little bit because I did lose a little bit of it in the process. I do essentially just want the yellow to kind of peek through a little bit, but nothing too crazy. So for the most part, shadow is done on my upper lid. I do need to go in with a little bit of concealer to kind of do a little bit of cleanup because right now things are looking very messy. So I will be using this, which is the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. I am going to be using the one in Neutralizer, and I'm just going to put this directly underneath the eyes. Again, this is really just going to help clean everything up because as of right now, things are looking a little messy, okay? So I'm also going to take this alongside the sides of my nose to kind of just pinch it and make it appear slimmer. And with that same Equal Tools sponge I used to blend out the foundation, I'm going to use it to buff and blend out the concealer. Perfect. So now that I have my concealer all blended out, I'm actually going to go in with a little bit of the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I freaking love this powder. It retails for maybe under $7, and I am using the shade 10 Fair Light. Now, this isn't necessarily like a translucent powder. It definitely is a colored powder, which is why I am using such a light shade because I do want to essentially use this to really sink in and soak up all of that concealer. It's really just going to keep my under eye area locked and loaded. And since I want my makeup to stay on for a long period of time, I'm really going to go in and just set down all the areas I applied concealer and foundation. Now, one thing I want you guys to keep in mind is that I don't really like bake with the powder. I really just press into the skin until it's all gone. I'm also going to take this powder and set down my entire face with it. Oftentimes, I feel like when I double powder, which means I'll go in with a loose powder like this and a pressed powder, I feel like my foundation just holds up a lot better throughout the day. I do live in Florida, so it's very hot and humid, and sometimes I feel like the humidity really just affects the way my foundation wears. So that's why I like to go in with a loose powder and a pressed powder. Now, I am well aware that I probably look like a ghost right now because I do have a lot of powder on my face, but it will essentially come together once I go in with a pressed powder, bronzer, a little bit of cheek color. Right now, I just look very flat and bare, but it's gonna come together, trust me. The powder I'm gonna use today is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 230 Natural Buff, and I'm just going to powder down my entire face. This is going to give me a little bit more color, and it's also going to wipe away any excess loose powder that I have sitting on the skin. With a little bit of that brown powder within the City Mini palette, and I'm just going to press it right here alongside my lash line. Now I'm also going in with a little bit of this shade right here called Old Fashioned from the Maybelline Lemonade Craze eyeshadow palette because it's a little bit darker than that of this one in the City Mini palette. So I'm going to continue to pick up this shade right here and press it right alongside my lower lash line. Now I do want this color to sit super close and super tight to the lash line, so don't drag it down too far. Then I'm going to go in with an M433, pick up a little bit of that mustard yellow, and I'm going to use it to buff and blow out the brown on the lower lash line. Now I do want this to be super smoky and blown out, so I'm definitely not going to hold back here. I'm going to go all in and just keep buffing and blending. And you can just see immediately how beautiful that looks and how beautiful everything just starts to come together and blend together. I feel like applying eyeshadow on your very lower lash line is key. It's a must. It's really just going to transform the look.
2 very boring minutes later.
I'm going to take a little bit of this powder and I'm going to set it right here just to kind of clean up this edge a little bit because I kind of got a little bit carried away with the eyeshadow, and this always does the trick if I blend a little bit too far down. All right, so let's move on to inner corner highlight. I'm going to dip into the Maybelline Lemonade Craze eyeshadow palette, and I'm going to pick up the shade right here called Main Squeeze because it is such a beautiful reflective light champagne. And I'm going to spray my brush with a little bit of Fix Plus. I'm going to actually use a pencil brush. This is by Morphe. This is an M321, and I'm just going to pop it right here in the very inner corner. Now you could do one of two things with this look. You can apply liner or you can totally skip out on liner. Today I'm actually going to be using eyeliner. I'm going to use the gel eyeliner, which is the Maybelline FaceStudio gel liner in the shade Blackest Black. I'm going to apply it with this eyeliner brush by ABH. It's an A28, and I'm just going to create a very thin line on the upper lid just so that way when I put on falsies, everything just blends like a dream, okay? I'm going to take an M507, pick up a little bit of that black eyeshadow, and I'm just lightly going to pack it right here towards the outer edge just to kind of diffuse out the liner a little bit for more of a smoky, sultry effect. So after smoking out your black eyeliner, it is literally vital that you go in with some kind of black eyeliner. So I'm going to use the Master Precise Skinny Gel Pencil, and I love this because it's super slim and skinny, so it's really easy for me to tightline with this. I'm also going to take the skinny eyeliner and put it right here in my waterline. Then with my ABH A1 brush, I'm just going to press a little bit of that black eyeshadow closest to the lash line right here, just so that way there are no gaps between where I put the black in my waterline and my lower lash line. I'm going to pop on falsies towards the very end. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to move on to bronzer highlight and give my face a little bit of dimension because right now I'm looking very flat and I want to bring some depth and dimension back into the face. So I'm going to use this palette right here by Maybelline. It is one of my favorites. This is the Master Contour Face Contouring Kit. It comes with a contour, a blush, and highlighter. I'm not too keen on the blush just because I feel like it is that typical blush shade that a lot of brands just throw into trio contour palettes like this. So what I really like is the bronzer or contour shade within the palette. So I'm going to use this to just warm up the skin a little bit. I'm going to go back into my Maybelline powder and I'm going to clean up directly underneath my bronzer. I'm also going to take this right alongside the sides of my nose. Oh no, that's why I do my mascara last. I'm going to have to go back in and touch up my mascara because now I look ridiculous.
While Patchy pulls himself together, let's see how SpongeBob's party is shaping up.
While I let the powder sit and bake on the skin, I'm actually going to go in with highlighter. Now, Maybelline does carry some of my favorite highlighters. They do have their Master Chrome. It is that really beautiful gold that everyone knows and loves. It is just buttery, creamy. It's not chunky or anything like that. It melts into the skin so beautifully, so that's why I really, really love it. Now, I want to say this has to be at least $11.99, maybe even less than that. But there's another product that I really, really love and I have mentioned in previous favorites videos and also previous makeup tutorials. This is the Maybelline Expertwear Single Eyeshadow in the shade The Glow Down. Like literally the same exact concept, except this retails for $2.99. The Glow Down is a little bit lighter than the Molten Gold, so you may even like this a lot more than this shade right here. I'm personally going to lean more towards the Glow Down because I do like more of a lighter golden highlight as opposed to something that is very, very warm like Molten Gold up top. I will be applying the eyeshadow as a highlight with an BH A23. I definitely have to add a little bit of blush to the cheek, so I'm going to use this. This is the Fit Me Blush in the shade Coral. I'm going to brush away all of this powder. I'm now just going to go in and pop on a pair of false lashes that are really going to complement the look.
A few moments later.
Now, one thing I always recommend after going in with your falsies is to take a little bit of your gel eyeliner and just put it directly over top of the lash band to conceal it a lot more. And to finish things off with the lips, I'm going to use the Maybelline Vivid Hot Lacquer in the shade Unreal, which is such a beautiful shade that's going to really complement the look. And just like that, you guys, this is the final and completed look. What do you guys think? Let me know down below in the comments. Honestly, I'm not even gonna fake the funk. I've already had Thanksgiving dinner. It's like 11 o'clock at night. I went to Bobito's house. I went to my mom's house. I ate a lot of food. I was out doing things and my face locked and loaded. Like, foundation held up so incredibly nicely. The glow, ooh, the eyeshadow, the eyeliner, everything looks amazing. Did not smudge, did not budge. I did have to touch up my gloss, obviously, because it's gloss, but I'm in it to win it. If you guys are interested in any of the products I did mention within the video, I'm gonna have little asterisks next to all the products I know and love and would definitely recommend 1,000 times over. So definitely check out that. If you guys want to see me do any other videos like this, let's say full face using CoverGirl, whatever the case may be, leave all of your video recommendations down below in the comments because I would love to check those out. With that, I'm gonna go. I love you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. Click the bell. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday at 6 p.m. are the days I upload, so don't miss out on that. I love you, and I will talk to you guys all very, very soon. Deuces. You guys already know what time it is. The outro of the outro. The outro of the outro. Alright, you guys made it to the very end of the video. Honestly, it's like 11 o'clock at night. I've been wearing this on my face for a hot minute, like literally 10:30 this morning, and that's pretty big for me. Love it. Like, full beat, slay, did not bleed, did not smudge. It doesn't really get any better than that, so make sure you guys check out the products listed down below in the description. And also don't forget to check out some of my other videos and also subscribe by clicking my face right up here. You guys are really going to like this video and this video, trust me. I'm gonna go wipe my face off and I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.